The budget of the Office of the Vice President next year has breezed through the House Appropriations Committee, but not before VP Sara Duterte answered some questions from lawmakers when she waived her privilege to parliamentary courtesy.
Duterte also gave an update on her father, Digong, said to be unfit for ICC trial due to cognitive impairment. Mobile journalist Arles de los Santos with tonight's big story.
At past 9 a.m. on Tuesday, September 16th, Vice President Sara Duterte arrived at the Romualdez Hall in Batasang, Pambansa to present her office's proposed 902.8 million pesos budget for 2026. This is higher than the OVP 744 million pesos spending fund this year. Sara attended the lower chamber's hearing alone, no undersecretaries, no assistant secretary in tow. After her presentation, Davao 3rd District Congressman Isidro Ungab motioned for parliamentary courtesy to eliminate the need to present the budget line by line. Parliamentary courtesy is a practice of both the lower and upper chamber to respect the powers and prerogatives of their co-equal branches of government. But the Vice President was ready for some queries.
Yes, I waive the privilege.
Some members of the Makabayan bloc immediately seized the opportunity to finally ask the Vice President questions that first off, her foreign travels, which had taken her to Germany, Denmark, Japan, Hong Kong, Qatar, Australia, Korea, France, and Belgium between 2024 and this year. Those trips are on top of her back and forth in the Netherlands, where her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte's ICC detention facility is located.
Paano po pinopondohan yung pagpunta, flight and accommodations ng staff and security ng OVP?
Madam Chair, may I be allowed to ask a question? Magpinsan po ba si Congressman ko ngayon tsaka si Zaldi ko? Gusto ko
Mr.
lang
Chair, I
malaman.
can answer.
Are they relatives?
I have no familiar relation po to Zaldico or to Representative Zaldico or any of their relatives po.
Sara was also questioned about the 7.4 million pesos spent for security and personnel during travels, allegedly from Filipino taxpayers' money. The Vice President's answer was short.
No public funds were used for all my travels.
Duterte was also asked about the 73 billion pesos in confidential funds that her office spent in 2022, which the Commission on Audit issued a notice of disallowance on.
Wala raw accomplishment reports na naipakita or sinubmit ang Office of the Vice President para dito. Ano na po ang status ng notice of disallowance na ito?
I suggest that the Congressman ask this during the hearing of the Commission on Audit.
The VP was also asked about confidential funds that supposedly went to characters named Mary Grace Piatos, Miggy Mingo, Xiaomi Ocho, and all others later found out to have no birth or even death records with the Philippine Statistics Authority. Here's how she answered.
This is the subject of an impeachment trial, and I would not like to discuss the defense for the impeachment trial.
I would just like to note na wala pong impeachment trial sa kasalukuyan, Madam Chair. In fact, it is archived in the Senate.
At one point, a word war erupted between Sagip Party List Congressman Paulo Marcoleta and ACT Teachers Party List Antonio Tino because of questions being asked Duterte.
I thought we're going to accord institutional courtesy to the Office of the Vice President. Bakit po natin binabanatan? Bakit natin tatanungin?
Wala pong binabanatan dito. I take exception
the other members from making a manifestation.
I take exception to the use of the term binabanatan. Nagtatanong lang po tayo rito at lihitimo naman po ang mga tanong.
Eventually, lawmakers agreed to strike off the word binabanatan from the hearings records, and the deliberations finished after an hour. After this, the OVP goes to plenary. Despite her office's budget breezing through today's deliberations, Duterte said she's certain she's not yet free from threat from the impeachment.
Oh yes, kasi kung hindi man yan matuloy ngayon, 2025, I'm sure mag-file yan 2026, mag-file yan 2027, or even siguro 2028, right before the presidential elections. So this is all about the presidential elections of 2028.
Once again, she was asked about her 2028 plans. And once more, she says everything's still up in the air. Back in 2024, Duterte said she will announce her political plan by 2026. In January this year, she had said that she is considering running as president in 3 years. Meantime, Sara says she had recently spoken to her detained father, former President Digong.
He's okay. Nag-usap kami about politics, nag-usap kami about flood control, nag-usap kami about love life niya.
Mr. Duterte's defense team had claimed their client is no longer fit to stand trial due to cognitive impairment. They added the former chief executive cannot remember places, happenings, and even names of some family members anymore.
Tingin ko naman merong mangyayaring hearing sa competency. So antayin na lang natin yung mga experts.
Before the budget hearing, Duterte attended the Peña Francia Festival in Bicol. When asked if she went to see her predecessor and now Naga City Mayor Leni Robredo,
nagdesisyon ako na huwag kami magkita para wala nang masabi ang mga tao about former Vice President Leni Robredo.
Mobile Journal Arles de los Santos. We are One News.